We do love the sculpture, by the way.
I drive by it every night.
Right, the next item is the Art in Public Places installation of artwork in Christchurch Botanic Gardens. Another sculpture that I love. Okay, so I guess the main question that we have around this is in relation to operational costs that need to be potentially included in the draft annual plan. In terms of the agreement to the permanent installation, at what point does the obligation around operational costs transfer, or do we already hold those operational costs?
So we've already been maintaining it. And
right.
What we've done in the meantime is basically we've cut our cloth to suit, and we've, I guess, pulled back a little bit on some of the other art features around the city, just so that we can do a level of maintenance on it, water blasting it down, that sort of stuff. It's not ideal. That's why we're raising it as an issue in the annual plan, to say if we keep getting these things, which everybody loves, there is a small cost, and we've got that all detailed out. We just have to cut back on other things.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot.
Yeah, it has to get regularly washed down. It's just what it is.
This is what's going to happen when the terraces get transferred, or the promenade gets transferred to the council as well.
Yes, although with the
it needs to be water blasted most days, doesn't it?
Yes, but a number of years ago we did allow for that extra funding for taking that on, and that's already in the budgets especially for the parks area. That's why we're doing it with our central city crew now. But it will continue, because there are another 3 to 4 artworks that I know of coming that will require maintenance as well. So we have to raise the issue each time to say there is a cost with this.
Yeah, no, I understand, and it just did seem to be a particularly high cost. And what you've said is that it's because of the water blasting that it requires.
It's the washing down, and because it's in a lake, it's not that easy to get to. So it's just really one of those things. Some of the other artworks that go in don't require the same maintenance. So it swings and roundabouts.
Swings and roundabouts. Yeah. Tim.
Thank you. Look, I think we've really got to be very clear that when we're looking at artwork and coming to us, because coming to us, it's a gift. It's actually can sometimes be a poison chalice. So I think
don't mention the chalice.
Don't mention the chalice.
But I do think that that's just a whole new bargain. Yeah. But look, I think do we insist that when these things are proposed to gift to us, as in the city, that we insist on the knowledge of, or knowing the ongoing costs? Because you've already said that we're reducing services to others. We're not an endless. People think this council is a bottomless pit of money, and we are not.
Yeah. When these come through, we ask for quite a lot of information from Scape and others, and including, we get the engineering plans, everything, and a full assessment is done of the maintenance costs at the time. And as the next reports come through via committee, we're going to make sure that we track that cumulative build-up of expenditure.
When will we be as a council? When will you or whoever come to us to say that we need more money and a cleaning budget for these artworks?
Very soon in the annual plan.
Just be aware that money has to come from somewhere else. So it may be one of your projects or pet projects. The other thing is, with the cleaning of the Avon precinct, we do have the Canadian geese expanding, and so the mess that they leave is considerably more than ducks. So just be aware that is coming. So that will probably blow out that budget too.
Glenn.
Thank you. I guess in terms of cleaning, we're talking about things, like bird poo. So how does this differ in terms of other structures, say at Kerr's Reach or the Mayor's just mentioned the terraces or other places where, you know, there's bird poo. Why would this have a higher priority when we...
Well, sometimes with the artwork, it's just the methodology that's a wee bit different, because you don't want to damage the artwork itself, so you can't just stand on the bank and blast from there. So some of the other things, like the bird poo, where you've got stone paving, like through the central city here, you know, you can do it a bit more efficiently, I guess. But we just have to be a wee bit careful with the fabric of the artwork itself. I think that's it. Those other areas you're talking about, like the jetties and what have you, still need to be cleaned under the maintenance contract.
Because it's art, this takes it up in terms of priority, as opposed to...
Not necessarily priority, but in terms of, I guess, the way that the work is carried out, we just have to be a bit more careful. I mean, some of these things are worth quite a bit of money, and if you let them deteriorate, then you lose the part of the value of the artwork itself.
Yeah, thanks, Brett.
Oh, sorry, Anne.
Thanks, Brent. Just with the report that's coming, will that include some of the other options in terms of models of how we could fund this, rather than the council funding this? Could there be other options presented, for example, developers, as part of their, you know, a gift back to the city?
In terms of the capital cost, yes, that's often the case. Often these artworks are gifted anyway. It's the operational cost, it's the ongoing one that's really our problem. And we can, if subdivisions, for example, haven't been handed over, sometimes if there's artworks going in, then they will look after it for the period of the development of the subdivision. But it's really the ongoing legacy of these things that we're talking about.
So could there be an opportunity to have some sort of a partnership agreement in place, so that there's an understanding that there is a responsibility to continue caring for the artwork?
With community groups or that sort of thing, potentially. I guess then you've just got the quality control issue there in terms of how they're looked after. You can do a lot of damage, especially to some of the stones and bronzes and things like that, if they're not done carefully by very enthusiastic people. Yeah.
Just to follow on from that point, Brent, have we given consideration to just having a dedicated team, like probably a team of 2, that just do all our artworks all year round? And so they're the only ones that do it, and they just have the equipment and do it in-house rather than contract any of it out to make it more cost effective?
Currently,
given the number we have,
some of the minor works I think are picked up by our in-house staff, but there is a contract out there. I'm not sure which contractor it is, and they do have a dedicated crew, because the type of cleaning, for example, when you get into the bronzes, we're having to re-wax every few years. That does require expertise and a lot of care. So it's something I'll take back to the park staff and see how they're going to put that out in the future.
do it going forward.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Just one last question, if I may. Just in terms of, can you see the art gallery having a role in this at all?
I talk regularly with Blair, the director, about this, and he's involved with the Arts Advisory Group, and these artworks, when they come through, go for comment through PAG as well, so they are involved that way. But generally, the maintaining of the outdoor artworks sits with the parks unit, and the indoor artwork sits with the galleries. So that's sort of where the relationship is now. So it's good.
So is there a potential for that to perhaps change, and so that they also take responsibility for the outside? You know, given that they're specialists, and there is a resource already there, could that be something that we could consider? I'm
not sure that the resource they have for the indoor artworks, I'd have to check with Blair, but I'm not sure that's a similar sort of resource, because you're talking about you know, some of the artworks and the memorials and the statues are all sort of cared for by the one team currently through parks, and yeah, quite different to I think what they're dealing with indoors, but we can have a chat. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, happy to move. And Aaron seconded. Any discussion?
Yep.
Tim?
Yeah, look, I think we've got to actually have I'm going to be voting against this because I think, not because I'm against it, but because we have to have a real conversation about the maintenance and bringing that up front. So the amount of money that we put aside for public works of art, a percentage of that should be going to the, first and foremost to the maintenance of the art we already have. Because if we don't do that, that money will be coming from another budget somewhere else. And we are under pressure. All our budgets are under pressure. We've had NGOs, the arts organisations and the community all stressing how much they are under pressure, and we are reducing funding left, right and centre because of the pressures. So I think we have to have a realistic look at this and understanding of it, because I do remember the rigmarole of going with the chalice and the stupidity of the process for changing the bulbs, and we had to do it. It was just insane. So we've got to be practical about these things, but I will be voting against this because I think we need to force this issue. It is a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. I will support this. It is quite striking. I note the subject to list, including the additional maintenance costs for consideration in the next annual plan. And on that note, I suggest we also need to consider other things that come under the ambit of your unit, Brent, such as potential funding for other places which are important to people, which we've heard about the terraces, the Kerrs Reach pontoon, Anzac Drive, where birds poo over them. It's not good for public use. So I think in all fairness, we need to consider that as well. But on balance, I think it's a magnificent piece of work and it will be good.
Phil and then Anne.
Well, look, as chair of the committee who considered this, I'm strongly supporting this. I'm a bit disappointed that some things have been relitigated and some councils are changing their minds, because the key point of this was actually looking at the permanent installation of a really lovely piece of artwork, and people, I know when I stop to admire it, lots of others do too, and people will say, look, this is beautiful, and the whole name, Diminish and Ascend, is, I think, quite inspiring and food for thought. So I'm strongly supporting the recommendations. I think it's important that we deal with this today. There are, of course, the maintenance issues which are dealt with in the report, and so, yeah, I just think it's a pity that in fact, we do need to keep this beautiful piece of art, and we've got very good support from Scape and others, and we do need to ensure the maintenance happens.
Anne?
I'm strongly supporting too, and I think it's we need to have this discussion. We can't, we're not talking about, you know, a public facility that needs cleaning, for example, you know, I don't know, changing sheds or something. We're talking about art, and we're talking about something that these things are treasures. So I think we need to perhaps elevate the how we see this in this discussion, and to give them the due attention that they deserve. So I look forward to the report and having a further discussion about how we can actually maintain and care for these treasures in our community that are much loved and bring incredible a sense of well-being to many people. And also it acknowledges the hard, you know, the value of our artists, that we care for them, and also how we see art in our community. So look forward to that report. Thanks, Brent.
Right, Pauline?
Yeah, just very quickly, I just want to support Tim's comments too, because that's something we do need to look at, whole of life costs when we're gifted or however we obtain any artworks. And I really fully support that, so that we can budget for them appropriately. I think Christchurch is becoming an incredibly artistic city. We're getting on the map for our amazing works that we have here. But this one we already have, so to withhold or put this at risk, I'm not supporting that at all. So I really do want to support retaining this, but going forward, I think Tim's argument is strong. And I really support the meaning behind this. You know, we have to diminish. It's like life. You know, we have to diminish in order to ascend, even if we do get pooped on the way up.
All right. I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Tim Scandrett.